This is a Pecha Kucha on how external pressures can affect teenagers. Some of the biggest factors in a teenager's decision-making can be from external pressures. External pressures can come from media, peer pressure, role models, and family. This Pecha Kucha about external pressures is focused on family. People say family is one of the biggest sources of support for you to rely on. Family can also be, however, one of the biggest sources of stress. So why is family considered a pressure source? Well, mainly because they are one of the largest influences in your life. They've always been there and they always will be. They can affect your decision-making and what you choose to involve yourself with. They can even influence how well you do in school. Family pressure is different from the other external pressures. Unlike peer pressure, you can't leave the pressure area when you disagree with what you're being told to do. You can't exactly argue with your parents if they tell you to do something and not get in trouble for not doing what they asked. However, like the other external pressures, family pressure can be positive. Family pressure, to a certain extent, can help you with everyday challenges and can be a positive influence overall. Here are some of the ways family pressure can be positive. Your family can introduce you to things that you wouldn't have tried on your own, and you could end up loving it in the end. It could be an activity or a report or simply a subject that can turn into your passion at school, like finding out you love history because you want to know what your grandpa was talking about. Let's look at Amanda. Amanda didn't want to go to the beach. She wanted to be with her friends, but her family decided to have some fun in the sun. Amanda didn't expect to have any fun while she was there, not until she was introduced to paddleboarding. Because her family pushed her into going to the beach, she was able to find her new favorite hobby. Family can get you to push yourself to be better. They can tell you encouragement, and they can also scold you for not doing your best. They can help you see what you did wrong so you can be better in the future. They can be your second opinion that can help you do your best. A little competition never hurt anybody. In fact, for some people, a competitive edge can help them be that much better. A healthy rivalry between siblings or cousins can push you to go above and beyond to do well, just for props or bragging rights. Just as family can push you to be better, they can also help make it a little easier. For example, if you want to get into a certain college, you can have an uncle who went there. He could tell you that if you do really well, he'll talk to some people and make connections to help you get in. Let's look at Matthew as an example of positive family pressure. As a child, his parents pushed him and his brothers and always told them to do their best. Matthew and his brothers were very competitive to see who'd do better. In the end, with a few recommendations from family members, he got into the college of his dreams. Now, parents can do some positive judging. While that may sound very strange, it is a thing that they do. They assess what is best for your well-being, as well as what could potentially harm you. With this judgment, they'll act in your best interest, at least what they think is your best interest anyway. Unfortunately, parents judging what's best for you can be negative. They can be too harsh or sometimes even irrational. They can drive away your friends and they can hurt your relationship with them. This is when family pressure can become a negative influence. Every positive can become a negative if there's too much of it, and family pressure is no exception. When your family tries to influence you too much, it can lead to a strain between them and you, which can cause a lot of stress. It can affect your state of mind, your abilities, and even your actions. Family can be a bit insensitive about your boundaries. They don't really leave you alone. Support and being there for you is great, but when people start to get overbearing, that's when things start to get ugly. They expect you to listen to them, even when they push you out of your comfort zone. Remember what I said about Amanda? How she said she didn't want to go to the beach with her family? Lucky for her, she got something good out of that trip. Not everyone does in that situation. Mandatory family time can be extremely stressful and can interfere with what you want to do. Things can go downhill when pushing you and friendly competition becomes stressing you out and favoritism. When family is constantly telling you to be better, to be more like your cousin or your sibling, their positive pressure is just plain toxic. There is no positive at this point. When family is telling you what to like, who to be friends with, and who you should be like, it becomes very hard for you to stay you. Family can tell you to stop making art because that won't get you a job. They can take away your friends because they're bad for you. Family can pressure you into changing yourself to fit them. One example of negative family pressure is Leela Alcorn. She was born as Joshua Ryan Alcorn. Her parents refused to accept her for her gender identity and instead sent her to Christian conversion therapy. When she retaliated, they pulled her out of school and cut her off from her friends. She committed suicide on December 28, 2014. Like the other forms of external pressure, family pressure can be both positive and negative. I'm not trying to say that family influence is evil, but I am saying that it isn't perfect. Any form of external pressure can be a negative effect on a teenager. It is important to remember to balance it.